Krala, mala, mala. Are we gonna ever finish this? I thought we were gonna bang through this. Don't be mad at them. Alright, episode 20. I believe this is gonna be episode 2312. I believe this will be episode 2312. Let's get it done, son. Conclusion. 2 more sections and a conclusion. We're getting there. Let's get it done. Come on, let's move on. Reward participation, not just capital. A core philosophical tenet of Web3 is that there are more ways to provide value to an ecosystem than through capital. There always has been. And furthermore, that value should be able to be earned, not just purchased. I think we discussed this. This is a radical departure from the existing structure, where those with capital earn more through investments than people can earn through work, resulting in a widening wealth gap over time. Where those with capital earn more through investment than people can earn through work. Well, yeah. The people that invest capital earn at that rate. The people that work with no capital earn at that rate. And those rates are determined by the marketplace, by a contribution to the success of the platform. You know, in destroying this, you're trying to destroy leverage. You're trying to destroy the principles of leverage and how leverage works and capital works and sweat equity versus financial leverage, the ability to buy the equity of the sweat equity of the others, and the way systems work and all of metaphysical reality. You are trying to discount and say this is bad. It's insanity, Rawls. Distribution of ownership to participants is also a major shift away from how incumbent platforms are built. Distribution of ownership to participants is a major shift away from how incumbent platforms are built. Web 2's this way, Web 3 we want to be this way. Here's a shift wherein meaningful ownership accrues to employees and investors, but nothing good after comes after but excludes users whose content and contributions make those platforms valuable. Jeez. Don't be mad at them. Distribution of ownership to participants, assuming that all participants should have ownership. What are the principles of ownership? What is the concept of ownership? The ability to conceptualize is the defining characteristic of the species of animal that defines the concept of man. Man is a rational animal with a volitional consciousness. Man's ability to conceptualize reality, to a conceptual animal, concepts, the meanings of concepts, how concepts are formed, what is a concept. Distribution of ownership to participants is a major shift. Granting that all participants should have ownership. Is that true? Is it true? Should all participants have ownership of the thing they participate in? Define ownership. Ownership's accountability. Oh, you have none. It's a free platform that you get to use. You have no accountability. Okay, well, the principle of ownership, the concept of ownership, comes accountability. Define ownership without accountability. Your concepts. Ownership to participants. Participants is different than ownership. And you want all participants to have ownership. What is ownership? It means being accountable. It means the law of cause and effect. It means the law of identification. It means the law of non-contradiction. It's logic. It's reason. It is man's method of cognition. So let's talk about concepts. Let's talk about participants. What is a participant? What is the concept participant? Does it include accountability in it? If you are a participant in something, are you accountable for everything that system does? So you can't have ownership without an accountability. You should not take accountability without ownership. And you should not take accountability without ownership. In the case of Web 2 platforms and all of human history, for that matter, accountability, ownership, participation, and status have not changed. And they will not change. And they should not change. Participation. Does it include accountability? Are you accountable? And if you are not, then the rewards that you will accrue, the value that you will get from it, will be less than, because you don't have accountability. You want ownership without accountability. You want a reality that you wish for regardless of what exists. You want not cause and effect. You want ignorant rationalizations. You want to have your cake and you want to eat it too. And it's getting hot and it's buffering. And that's why I gotta keep doing so many videos. You want to have your cake and you want to eat your cake. And you think that there's nothing wrong with that. But there is. You can't. Krala, mala, mala. Are we going to ever finish this? I thought we were going to bang through this. Excludes users whose content and contributions make the participants are excluded from ownership. The platforms, the evil platforms. Here we go. An important step in aligning Web3 with the principles of justice as fairness is to ensure that everyone is on an equal footing and can attain positions of power or compensation through their own merit and contributions. Yes! The reality so far has been that those in the right knowledge networks can compound their wealth through strategies like Sybil farming, creating multiple accounts, to receive additional token airdrops. And while early distributions of tokens often perversively incentivize short-term mercenary behavior, like participating in yield farms, then exiting them days later in search of higher yields, there is an opportunity to iterate and improve the process to support networks' long-term retention and sustainability. One way is by making it possible to earn ownership through ongoing participation in networks, not just capital investment. Projects are working to expand access to ownership through active contributions. Include these projects. To expand ownership through active contribution. And then we can get into the next. Ownership through active contribution. Define the concept of ownership. You participate in it, and the more you participate, or as you participate, or whatever that subjective participation is, you know you're going to make it subjective when it is objective, but you don't want it to be. Whatever it is, ownership will be assigned to that participation as determined by your small group of distributive, coercive, totalitarians, you and Rawls. I gotta end this one. You can't have ownership without accountability. You can't have ownership without accountability.